The road has a rhythm. You can feel it in the hum beneath your feet, in the quiet vibration that travels up through the seat, in the steady heartbeat of the wheels as they carry you forward. It's a sound that never really leaves your head, even when you stop. That low, endless whisper of the highway becomes part of you, and somewhere between one horizon and the next, you realize this isn't just travel anymore. It's life. Life between highways and horizons. Every time I turn the key, there's that small click before the engine wakes up, a sound that says, "Let's go." The kind of sound that pulls you out of routine, out of walls, out of the static. I used to think freedom was about where you went, but now I know it's about how you move. Slowly, deliberately, wide-eyed. Some days it's the long, open highway stretching straight into the sun. Other days it's a dirt road you weren't even looking for but somehow found you anyway. There's a moment that happens when you drive for hours in silence. No music, no talking, just the wind curling through a half-open window. It's the kind of quiet that rearranges your thoughts, the kind that reminds you how small you are and how big the world really is. You start to notice everything, the way the light shifts from gold to gray to silver, the shape of clouds rolling like slow rivers across the sky, the endless dance between the horizon and your headlights. I've driven through storms that felt like moving through another world, rain pounding against the windshield so hard I could barely see, thunder chasing me down the road. And then, an hour later, the sky opens, the sun breaks through, and everything shines like it's brand new. That's how it is out here. The storms never last. The light always finds a way back. Sometimes I stop at tiny gas stations, the kind that still smell like old coffee and dust. There's always someone there who asks where I'm headed, and I always smile and say, "I'm not sure yet." They usually laugh like it's a joke, but it's not. Out here you stop thinking in destinations, you start thinking in directions, north, west, toward the light, away from the noise. It doesn't matter where, as long as it's somewhere, new. I've watched the desert bloom after rain, seen mountains rise out of fog like sleeping giants waking up. I've parked under skies so full of stars they looked painted. And through it all I've carried this small world with me, this RV, this home, this moving piece of peace. It's amazing how little you need once you're on the road. A bed, a mug, a map, maybe a camera, maybe someone to share the silence with. There are mornings when I wake up before the sun. The air is cold, and the world outside is still half asleep. I slide open the RV door, and there it is, the horizon, painted in soft pink and gold. The first light touches the mountains, the trees, the roof of my little home on wheels. I make coffee slowly, quietly, like it's a sacred ritual. Steam curls up into the chill and the smell of roasted beans fills the air. That's the kind of peace no city can buy. On other days, I drive until the sun disappears behind me. The sky turns orange, then purple, then blue so deep it swallows the day whole. The headlights carve a narrow path through the dark, and the hum of the tires feels almost like a heartbeat. Somewhere far away, someone is sitting in traffic waiting for a light to change. But out here, the lights are stars, and they're all green. There's something beautiful about the simplicity of the road. The way it teaches you that not everything has to happen fast, that not every plan needs a destination. You start to understand that the horizon will always move. No matter how far you go, it will always stay just out of reach. And maybe that's the point. Maybe we're not meant to reach it. Maybe we're meant to keep chasing it, and because that chase is what keeps us alive. Sometimes I meet other travelers, strangers who've been living this same rhythm, highways, rest stops, morning light. We trade stories, share tools, laugh about how small the world feels once you start exploring it. Then, a few hours later, they drive off in another direction. And just like that, they become part of your story, brief but unforgettable. The road has a way of giving you people just long enough to remind you you're not alone, and then it takes them away again, like the tide. There are nights when I park by a lake or a quiet field, turn off all the lights, and sit outside in the dark. The air feels heavier at night, more honest somehow. You can hear everything: Crickets, wind in the grass, the soft ticking of the engine cooling down. I look up at the stars and think about how each one is a reminder that there's still so much left to see. The highway is honest. It doesn't care where you're coming from, and it never asks why you left. It just keeps stretching out in front of you, mile after mile, offering a choice every few exits. You can turn back, you can stop, or you can keep going. And that choice, that freedom, is everything. There are times when I miss the noise of normal life, friends, city lights, the comfort of something familiar. But then I remember what it felt like to be still for too long, to feel stuck. The road doesn't let you get stuck. It forces you to move, to see, to adapt. Out here, change isn't scary. It's survival. It's growth. Somewhere between the highways and the horizons, you start to realize that this isn't about escape. It's about return. Returning to something simpler, quieter, more human. The sound of rain on the roof becomes music. The sight of a distant mountain becomes a goal. The warmth of morning sunlight through the window becomes a kind of prayer. I've learned that you can't measure life in miles or days or even destinations. You measure it in moments. The first time you drive through a thunderstorm and come out laughing on the other side. The way the desert smells after rain. The crackle of a campfire when the night is colder than you expected. The taste of coffee at sunrise when you haven't spoken a word to anyone in hours, and don't need to. There's magic in movement. There's truth in the distance between one horizon and the next. Out here, there's no beginning and no end. Just a continuous road, always waiting, always calling. Some days I wonder how long I'll keep going, how many more miles this RV has left, and then I see another turn, another stretch of light across the sky, and I think, maybe just a little farther. I think about the people watching these roads from their screens, wondering what it would be like to live this way. To trade walls. For windows, alarms for sunrise is routine for adventure. If that's you, let me tell you, it's not as hard as it looks. The hardest part is starting. The rest is just living. You learn to fix what breaks, to find beauty in the ordinary, and to be grateful for every simple thing that keeps you moving. Somewhere out there, past the city lights and the noise, there's a stretch of highway waiting with your name on it. You don't have to go far, you just have to go. Because the moment you do, the world opens up. Not all at once, but mile by mile, moment by moment. And maybe one day you'll wake up in a place you've never been before, hear the sound of the wind brushing through the trees, smell the coffee brewing on your tiny stove, and realize, this is it. This is life between highways and horizons. Not perfect, not planned, but beautifully, endlessly free. If you felt the pull of the open road while listening to this, maybe it's your turn to chase it. The world is waiting, wide, wild, and full of places that might just change you. And as for me, I'll be out there somewhere, wheels humming, horizon glowing, chasing one more sunrise down a road that never really ends. If this journey spoke to you, hit that subscribe button and ride along for the next chapter. There's always another horizon ahead.